Hi everyone, welcome back to the CTKS Method, where we help you make money with structure. Anticipate market moves before they happen and trade and invest like an institution of one. If you're serious about growing your wealth, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to level up your financial skills. Over the past 40 years inside financial markets, I've learned literally thousands of rules. And those rules weren't taught in textbooks, but hard-earned through real experience. Rule 110, overcome the fear of loss. This is a particularly important rule. Risk will keep you sidelined. Fear keeps traders and investors stuck, hesitating, second-guessing, or sabotaging really good setups. But when you trade with structure, like we do with the CTKS method, fear begins to fade. You stop reacting and start following a process. Every day, I'll be sharing these rules with you, not theory, but real trading and investing wisdom that helps you to grow in skill, in mindset, and of course, results. One of the biggest breakthroughs you can experience in life and in financial markets is overcoming the fear of risk, and that's exactly what the CTKS method is designed to do. Most traders and investors fear risk because they don't know what's coming. They are reacting emotionally to price, hoping and praying that their analysis is correct, and feeling exposed the moment they enter a buy or a sell. That fear is rooted in uncertainty. But CTKS structure removes that uncertainty by giving you a clear, repeatable map of where smart money is most likely to buy or sell based on certified standards, not opinions or patterns. When you know in advance where structure exists, you're no longer gambling, you're preparing. You just need to follow the structure. You enter where the probabilities are stacked and you manage risk with clarity and not emotion. That's how you overcome the fear of risk, by replacing emotion with process and randomness with structure. Structure gives you confidence. Confidence lets you stay calm, and staying calm keeps you in the game long enough to win. Let's make this real and use a real-time example for gold. And this is a call out to CryptoMonkey and Purpuratum, who love gold. When you look at gold's price action, it looks pretty damn random. It's all over the shop, and gold is currently $33.42. When we look at a gold price, through the CTKS method, we're not cherry picking, we're looking at the structural levels. So let's turn on the structural level from the service and check out what price is actually telling us. Where are the algorithms likely to sell? They're likely to sell around that 33.72 area. And we can see in advance the 33.80 area has a lot of overhead structural resistance. Combined with these two areas, that put a lot of negative price momentum inside of gold, and it's sold down, doing structural failures. Now, where could gold go? What is the safety net? It's just around here at that 33.21 level. We know already in advance where the levels are. What you're seeing here is institution level awareness and instant clarity on where a specific chart can go. The charts may look clean, but behind every level is deep analysis, logic, and structure based on proven standards and years of validation. These CTKS levels, these dotted lines, also called SLs or Stanfield levels, they're not random lines. They highlight where the algorithms are most likely to engage, giving you an asymmetric opportunity with controlled risk. These levels filter out the noise so you only act when the edge is real. So where is the edge inside gold's chart at the current time? It's around that 33.21 level. Every CTKS level follows a publicly documented Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification, so you can learn it, apply it, and trust it yourself. In yesterday's video, Anthony just reached out and said he was trading Bitcoin Cash. So let's have a look at Bitcoin Cash through the levels of structure. When trading or investing, if you get a sell-off, that can be really terrifying, but the key is to know the levels where structure will hold your chart. Before we looked at gold, the key is the understanding that the CTKS method works across all markets and any candlestick chart. When you understand the CTKS method, you'll find the same thinking, same structure, and same method across any price chart. Let's pop on the indicator from the service. When you have X-ray vision, you can stop reacting and start making money with precision. Here we saw this big sell down. We saw a structural failure, a structural failure, a structural overshoot, down to around this 520 level. There was an interesting comment on X yesterday. One of our beloved family members just reached out and said, Ken, what about whole numbers? Whole numbers are like 520, 500, 550, that kind of idea. More the 500 and 550 type. They're used by retail. What we do as an institution of one, we just know where the confluences are. So when we look at Bitcoin Cash as it was selling down through this negative CTKS gap, where did it find structure? Look at all of this underpinning structural support playing in not from 500 but 502.50 up to around this 507 level. Literally, all the people that were waiting for 500, which is a retail level, wouldn't have gotten filled. And the institutional players know this. And also, look at all of this structure and this pling up to around that 526 level. We saw that the 520 was just too strong and it sold back into structure. Could you imagine the terror and the fear of trading or investing in Bitcoin Cash? And Bitcoin Cash is just an example, an illustration, just like gold was. The CTKS method works across any price chart. Whatever you're trading or investing in, there's a chart markup that can be done, and you can do it yourself by learning Level 1 and Level 2 standard certification. You can think about it this way: overcoming the fear of loss is the focus for this video. You can see all of this red behavior, but with structure, we knew where the price was coming down to. And you might say, Ken, I'm not trading inside Bitcoin Cash. I don't care about Bitcoin Cash. That may well be the case. But the concept is, if you know where the structure is, especially if it's strong levels of structure away from retail levels, you just got an advantage. Each video, you'll find so many advantages if you listen closely. I'll give you another one because it's very important to understand why Bitcoin Cash came down like this. Looking into total crypto market cap gives us a very good understanding. Of course, we need to look at total crypto market cap from a structural perspective, not just a candlestick perspective. We need to understand where the structure is. And thank you to everybody in yesterday's video for just reaching out and saying that educational song was really helpful to them. And Grey Motion just dug into the Chicken Trader song. That is a ripper. And I've got another special for you at the end of this video. Make sure you watch to the end. Don't miss out on this one because it's really helpful. Now, what we need to do is to look at total crypto market cap from a structural perspective. So let's do that. What can we see here? Total crypto market cap came up from that 3.7, filled that positive CTKS gap, and then started to bend over because all the institutional players were selling when all of retail was buying. You know this as an institution of one. This is called green fire. And there absolutely were a lot of people that got burned because all of this green fire was extinguished by red fire. Now, what we've seen after this particular sell-off, we've come down to the $3.7 trillion mark and we've got a gravitational well, or GW, right there. Price is coming up. Now, if it gets above this GW, that means it's got a positive CTKS gap and could recover to that 3.75. That's the next area. Of course, after all of this downtrend, people are getting really negative, typically at exactly the wrong time. And this is what emotion does to people. It pulls people in. And of course, we're looking at a small time frame, but this could be a daily basis on another chart. So you can see all of this green and followed by all of this red. This is normal. The CTKS family is just awesome, and if you're new, please smash that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on tricks and tips that can make you a fortune. And many thanks to Grey Motion, CTKS Ambassador Al, and TF Theta, and so many other people for commenting. You're all awesome. Now, when we look at Bitcoin and total crypto market cap control the crypto market. So, what have we seen right now? Bitcoin is still under negative momentum just from a short-term basis. It's starting to show some signs of life here, but we need to look at the structure to understand, is there heavy resistance above? Is there a lot of structural support below? Where is the structure? That's what we need to know. Now, just one thing here, I put the daily EMAs, the 12, the 26, the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day, and I can only say, where are the lines? They're not here at all. And this is the problem. These lagging indicators are just a nightmare when it comes to helping you make informed financial decisions. And it's exactly and precisely why we need to use structure. So let's pop on the structural indicator from the service and figure it out. There's a huge retail mistake that people make. They say, oh, structure is here, structure is there. That's how they look at structure. That's not how structure works. Structure is the underpinning architecture of a chart. You don't fit it based on just the last bit of recent indicative price. But that is what people do, and that is why they continuously get burned. The CTKS method, it's a mental framework teaching you to think in terms of structure, strength, and alignment instead of reacting to noise. That will not only enhance your timing, but it will supercharge your profitability. CTKS levels are anchored to smart money logic, not fear, not FOMO, and not hope. When we look at Bitcoin structural levels, we can see the important ones, just a little bit under the 121,300 and around the 124. It's very straightforward. If structure is strong, what you will find is that we'll react to this particular upward thrust. This is the next level that we need to look at. So just bear in mind the 121,300 level. That's the next structural level that we need to observe. If we don't get that upward thrust to here, we're anticipating structural support will hit around the 118,800 or a little bit lower at 117,940. You already know exactly where price can go. This is a completely different way of looking at financial markets. With every other methodology, you're trying to assess where the heck is the resistance and where's support. If you're doing recent indicative price, you say, oh, support was there, support was there, support was there. That's not market structure. Market structure requires all of price history to be marked up and analyzed. Overcoming the fear of risk takes some time, and you need to think a little bit differently. The key to overcoming the fear of risk is to move from reactivity into proactivity. Understand where price can go by looking at structure. How strong is structural support? How strong is structural resistance? And where exactly are they located? Overcoming fear is incredibly important. According to Rule 765, the more fear you have, the lower the returns you'll get. So you want to do everything possible to reduce fear and increase your returns. And what you'll find, those CTKS levels will give you one framework that's scalable, repeatable, and provable and proven across every market condition. It will lower fear and increase your returns. And I've got something very, very special for you right now. Let's go for it.
CTKS, I embrace uncertainty. The fear of buying and selling, I've let it go. I know the structure, I let the trades flow. I have my strategy, my ritual. I use the CTKS cheat sheet to assess intercorrelation, momentum, interconnection, causality, and CTKS structure, time. I reject retail trade perfection. I master fear. I used to be paralyzed with doubt, fearing every move, second guessing what it's about. But now I see the game, I'm ready to play. No more hesitation, I'm making my way. Fear no longer controls me, I've learned to take calculated risk. Every trade's a chance to learn and master myself. No more waiting for the twist, I trust my strategy, I trust the levels. I make the call, I win or learn and never blame. Oh, no more fear inside. Oh, I decide. Trade without fear, let it all go. I've got the CTKS strategy, now I know. I'm not scared to buy, not scared to sell. I trust my strategy and I'm doing well. I trade without fear, I'm feeling strong. In the flow of the market, where I belong. Every move I make, I trust my mind. Trade without fear, I leave doubt behind. I used to be caught in the chaos, fear's grip on me tight. But now I see the structure, the market's in sight. I'll buy low and sell high, I'm making the moves. No more waiting for a sign, I know what to choose. Small percentages are the way to go. My account grows, and I know I've got the skill to make decisions that fit the bill. I won't be shaken, won't be swayed. I've got my strategy, and I'm here to say I used to freeze, waiting for the right time. But now I see that the perfect moment is always now. I trust the strategy, I trust my trades. Fear no longer controls me, I'm ready to invade. Trade without fear, let it all go. I've got the CTKS strategy, now I know. I'm not scared to buy, not scared to sell. I trust my strategy, I'll do well. I make three-dimensional decisions. I am prepared and not scared. I buy on red and sell on green. The smart percentages beam. Trade without fear, trade without fear. I'm walking in confidence, the path is clear. Trade without fear, trade without fear. I have my CTKS strategy, I'm in control. Trade without fear, trade without fear. The market's my playground, I have no fear here.